Hey guys, this is part 2 of our conversation with the amazing Monet exchange. If you missed part 1, go back and listen to it. Hope you like it.
I know everyone says your best look is your sponge look.
This is most iconic.
But what is your favorite one? Because you have so many good looks, and I feel like you're underrated
Thank you.
with your looks.
Thank you. You know what? I appreciate that.
I agree.
Yes, it's true.
But also it's because that's like the narrative that the show sold for me. So
Right,
people
it's all about
can't
narrative.
see outside of that.
Right.
Even though it's like if the Drag Race was like, the sky is purple, guys, and all like these like younger kids are like, oh my God, the sky is purple. And it was like, look at it, it's blue. It's like, no, but look, if you like look at it like this, it's like really purple. Like you can't
Right,
see.
people like to stick to what they know.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
can't
safe
see
space
outside
for
of
them.
it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones is probably my motocross look.
Yes.
Because that and the Angelic White. Because I worship and pray at the Church of Rihanna. She literally can do no wrong
Yeah.
to
Mark
me.
and I also do that.
Yeah,
I
same.
love her to the ends of the earth, which she shades me all the time. And I don't know why. And I love her. Okay,
Rihanna-
she doesn't shade me, but
But
Rihanna.
I thought she loved you.
Yeah.
Does she follow you on
okay,
Instagram and
she
stuff?
does not follow me. She follows everyone else except me.
No.
And she follows Evie Oddly, Vanessa. She follows Nina West instead of me. Like, are
I
you
can't believe she
joking?
doesn't follow you because you're the most likable drag queen I've ever seen on the show.
Exactly.
Your confessionals alone, I was
Thank
like, I hope he
you.
wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like when I did the Angelic White look, like, it was obviously inspired by her Met Gala look, and like the stylist who like came up, who like styled her for it, like the guy who like designed hers and everything, they all like started, they're like, oh my God, this is great.
And
They
that's
were
one of the
tweeting
best
it.
looks of the season.
Thank
It
you.
really is.
They were like sharing it, everything, and they were like, Rihanna has to see this. They're sending it to her. Girl, Rihanna was like, Monet who? I don't know. So I don't know why Rihanna hates me, but Rihanna, if you ever hear this.
I feel like it's a
love you.
miscommunication. I refuse to accept that.
Thank
I
you.
refuse to accept it too.
It feels
It
wrong.
doesn't like add up at all
It
to
doesn't
me.
add up. It doesn't
Okay,
add
so
up.
then you were on All Stars and you won the whole thing, but it was a double crowning.
Yes.
How did you genuinely, authentically, how did you feel about the double crowning? Were you kind of like pressed about it, or you were like,
at the time it happened, I was annoyed by it because I'm like, I don't want it to be double. I was like, either she win or I win.
Right.
yeah, you
Right.
worked so hard?
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I would rather it have been a definitive winner. But now, like, not even now, but like probably like a few weeks afterward, me and Trini were both like, honestly, this is super dope. It's probably the first and the last one that will ever happen.
Right.
on the
That's
record
true.
season.
It was
So
an iconic moment.
It's an iconic moment.
Yeah.
And we both got the money and we both got the crown. And like we both got all
Yeah,
the
you
things.
were an All Stars winner. That's just an objective
You know what I
fact.
mean?
That's
Right.
dope.
Yeah.
So, but in the moment, like when we were watching it, there's this like reaction video of us at WoW. Like they had like us like watching it, me and my dread look and Trinity in her red thing. And like I'm like smiling, but in my mind, I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
Right.
But I was like,
I know. I
the
thought that
camera's
y'all's
on.
reactions. I was like,
I was like, the camera's on, girl. You
Trying to
gotta
read.
smile, live your life. Look at her a little bit, then turn back to camera and
Yeah.
smile again.
Twitter's gonna go in if I'm not.
You know what I mean? So I was like, girl, I'm gonna be real diplomatic. I'm like, woohoo, this is the best thing ever. But yeah.
Oh, I had a fun question. If they did an all winners season, I'm not sure if they would ever do that, but if they did,
Mhm.
who do you think would win besides yourself?
Beside myself, and I hate to say this, but I genuinely think Bob would do a really good job.
That's what I said earlier. I was like, I think
He's-
Bob would maybe win.
He's really funny and he's a good actor and I think Bob would do. Bob would
What do you
probably
think
win.
like the most important quality you have to win is?
You have to be funny.
I think
I think you have
funny.
to be
That's what I was
funny.
gonna say, but I
It's
Because all the
funny.
challenges are like
Think
acting
charismatic.
challenge.
like that's like the best
Charismatic.
part.
Funny.
Like it's like
Charisma and
it's
funny.
Charisma and funny.
And then
like,
Yeah.
looks
just-
come second or third because
Yeah.
I feel like if
Definitely.
you nail the challenge, you're like have a better chance of winning than if you nail the look.
Yeah, I would say
agreed.
like funny and then like just like being a great performer. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
being,
it's like Bianca Del Rio and stuff. Like these
Yeah,
like
it's-
Yeah.
amazing, charismatic performers
Right.
always do
which
better.
is why I feel like Miss Congeniality is like such a like that just means so much, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Fans actually want to win.
Yeah, and
is
it's-
Miss Congeniality.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Yeah.
like really like a sign of like
And our season was the first season that they like let us choose one.
I know, it's really cool.
So it was like cool, like the fans wanted me to get it, but also the girls chose me.
Right,
too. I
that's
was
nice.
like,
That's like
dope.
validating. I have a question.
Please.
I remember you said something once where you felt like being like political in drag was almost like a call to duty
Mhm.
of you or something like that.
Yeah.
And I wonder like, cause I and then it's like, I almost feel like just doing drag is like almost political on its own. Like it's already
Totally.
That's
kind
how
of
it
a
started.
statement.
Totally, yeah.
But like, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like a responsibility? Does it feel like a obligation?
You know, I think it's a really nuanced thing because just like Rihanna has, not to quote Rihanna, but Rihanna, she is. I think she's at the Glamour something like 2014 or 13 or whatever, and a camera goes up to her and it goes, Rihanna, how do you feel about being a role model? She's like, role model? Role model? She's like, I ain't nobody a role model. I am Rihanna.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, just
That was a
because
great
you are
voice.
in a thing doesn't mean you have to be an activist or a role model. Like, because everyone has their own thing, and not everyone is great at speaking up about stuff. Not everyone always
Right.
has the right verbiage or whatever. So I don't think
Yeah.
everyone has to be. But I think that drag innately, as Scott was saying, like started out as a political statement and a
Right.
movement. And also right now, it's just like such a big fuck you to like patriarchy because, you know, fuck that
Totally.
shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think you have to be, but I think there are a lot of arrows pointing at you like, girl, you're gonna, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you have someone like Gia Gunn, and I think Gia Gunn is a perfect example. Because Gia Gunn identifies as a trans woman who was on Drag Race, people expected her to be this activist, and she should say this and this and the other. But you know, she didn't even know who Nancy Pelosi is, and she, you know,
Right.
she doesn't really have the gumption and the stuff to talk about those things. And she,
Yeah.
again, she doesn't have to. She doesn't, just because she's a trans woman doesn't mean she has to be.
be faulted for not being educated in that
Exactly.
world.
She doesn't have to be.
Especially
That's
if I
the
feel like
question.
one of the, I mean, at least the way like the show makes me feel is that like I want to be myself. Like
Right.
it really inspires me to
Yeah,
be myself. And so
exactly.
you don't want to force,
Exactly.
just because it seems like something that could be political, it feels
Mhm.
like more importantly is to be authentic and to
Yeah.
be like who you are.
Yeah, and it's because you have people like, you know, like Peppermint, who's a great activist and a
Right.
great advocate, and so you're like, well, if Peppermint should do it, and Gia Gunn should be doing it too, and like that's not her, that's
Right.
not Gia's business. Gia doesn't have to speak that way, you know. So yeah, it's kind of hard to feel about it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like what's hilarious. My friend Taddy, who I bring up on every single podcast, I don't know how that keeps happening.
Taddy or Patty?
Taddy with the T.
Taddy.
It's like
Taddy.
Tatiana.
Ooh.
It's her
She-
fake lesbian.
Yeah,
relationship.
She's my best friend,
they're
but we're
definitely lesbians together.
Really?
But she's closeted
I
about
wish.
it. It's a whole thing.
I remember once Scott was like, just try kissing and see. Like maybe you get butterflies.
I was like, touch her fucking
Try
nipples.
it.
Yeah.
Let's
Try it out.
try
You never
it.
know.
Anyway, she was like, I remember like during the marches in LA in like whenever that was, like May or something.
Yeah.
She was like, it's so funny. All these girls moved to LA to be like Instagram models. And now they're like, I guess I got to be an activist. Like, I guess like now I'm
Yeah.
just, I guess now I'm
come
up.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Performative activism is
Yeah.
definitely a big thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
there was that really viral video of that girl like in front of the a boarded up thing, and it was her like pretending like she like brought a hammer
Yes.
out of her car.
Was it Madison Beer?
Was probably.
Did she do that?
I know Madison
Did
Beer
she
had
do
a
that?
viral. She had a viral picture of her like looking hot, like holding
I
up black.
can't.
No!
She had a lot of backlash for it.
I'm gonna get shit on for shitting on her, but like,
But I mean, that's, I think, yeah. I mean, I'm torn on that whole thing because, like, on the one hand, I'm like, great. I'm glad it's like cool to
yeah,
be
she's using her
involved.
platform. That's amazing.
But it also,
Yeah.
I'm like, not cool if it's like
It's for the
vapid.
Instagram post.
Like,
Disingenuous,
is there
yeah.
actual, like, are you actually like voting? And are you
Right.
actually
Yeah.
like paying attention? Like,
Right.
or is it just,
I have
you know?
like friends that I won't name that literally post all the time about shit, but are like, "Oh, I think I'm not gonna vote," and I'm like,
I can't even,
That
is
that's
so
the shit I
crazy.
can't handle. I can't handle that.
That's so
yeah.
crazy.
"Okay, I had a question. Oh, what advice would you give to an up and coming drag queen or someone who wants to experiment with drag?"
You know what? I get that in my DMs, so I like tweets and stuff. So about that question from like people who want to dabble in drag, want to do drag, and honestly, for me, my advice, if I rolled the time back a couple years ago, would have been to just go out, because I knew so many people who were so scared to even
Right.
get in drag and leave their apartments. But I feel
Yeah.
like that's not as big of a not to use this word, but pandemic
Right.
as it is now, because I think more people have so much more bravery, and everyone, gender and sexuality is just like this big nebulous of whatever you want it to be. So
Right.
people don't feel that anymore. But I guess it's still mounted to some type of bravery, because even though, and I guess it's easy to feel that way because I live in New York City, and it's like everyone is doing whatever they want.
Right.
But
And
if you
drag is
live
like
in
normal here. It's
if
like
you're
weird
in
if you're not in
Wauwatosa,
drag.
Wisconsin, or if you're in Andalusia, Alabama, it's probably still a really weird thing for you to leave your
Right.
apartment. So I think it's just like, get the balls, bitch. Get up in full drag and just go to the Walmart.
There you go.
And
Right.
buy some, well, not Walmart. You know, the Target. Let's do Target.
Let's do
Let's
Target.
do Target.
Yeah.
Get up in drag, just go to the Walmart, and girl, just live. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
embrace all of the stares, embrace all of the scoffs, and just feel so empowered by that shit. Because that's what I used to love. When I used to like, get out of my apartment in the Bronx and to see everyone be like, ugh, I used to like, yes, bitch, Live 11.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you gotta find like the like empowerment in that.
Totally.
You know, because it can't, I remember when I used, like, whenever I open for other artists, you go out there and they're like, who's this bitch? Like, the sun's still up. Like, they're like getting their snaps and they're like, get off stage, right? And I remember, like, I love that feeling because I'm like, okay, there's nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to just try and win you over. So I always say the same kind of thing to singers. I'm like, just go sing somewhere.
Just go sing.
And if they're not paying attention, it's almost like more thrilling because you're like, I'm going to win you over.
Yeah, and just be like loose and free.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's very liberating. It's like you have nothing to lose. Like, just go whatever. You know, I mean, I'm sure you do. It is. You're right. In like other states, other places, it's probably like a just baseline, like more dangerous.
Yeah, 100%
thing to do. But I do think like if you can find empowerment in like the scariness of stuff, that's like really powerful.
Should we do our 3 questions?
Let's do it. I think it's time. We do
3
our
questions.
3
Okay, so
questions
to wrap up the
Okay.
podcast, we always ask the same 3 questions to every guest. And the first one is,
what does success mean to you?
Ooh, what does success mean to me? That is a hard question.
It's a hard one, yeah. Or like, what's your definition of
Do you
success?
think we should start sending people these questions before?
No.
No.
I like the spontaneity.
What does success mean to me, or what is my definition of success? My definition of success, I'm trying not to give like some like miscongeniality answer. April 24th, or whatever it is, 23rd, whatever.
Right.
I think my definition of success is like doing what you love and waking up, like doing what you love, going to sleep and waking up still loving it. You know what I mean? Like for me, I felt like I was successful when I started, so I had a full-time job working at the Yale Club in New York City. I was making like, bitch, $32 an hour, 8 hours a week. I mean, 40 hours a week, lots of overtime. I was making like such good money, and then
But you didn't love it.
But I didn't love it. And Bob was like, Monet, you need to quit your job. I was like, I'm not quitting my job. I have the union. I have health benefits. I'm making great money. I'm not quitting my job. And he was like, if you died tomorrow, would you be happier working at the Yale Club or if you're doing drag? And I was like,
exactly.
That's great.
That, you're right.
Yeah.
You got to feel fulfilled.
You know?
You have to be having fun. It's so important.
Yeah. And I started doing drag and I was not making, I had one steady gig a week and a bunch of guest spots. I was not making a lot of money. I was a hot mess. But I was like going to sleep and waking up and being like, oh, I'm so happy I'm doing drag. You know what I mean? So I felt good about myself. I felt successful.
Wow. I think people get so hung up on like, I need security. I need money. I need this. I need this. And I totally get that actually.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing every day, then what's the point?
I'm
like, you're going to die soon.
Hello?
You got 60
You know what I
years.
mean?
Yeah,
like,
you gotta follow. Like, you gotta follow like your curiosity. You have to follow. I mean, I also think like it's possible. Like, I think you're more likely to have like real success if you're doing the thing that you are like meant to do.
100%.
I always talk about this with friends. Like, if you're having fun, you'll make better art.
Absolutely.
And art only comes from like visceral, authentic fun.
Right.
So you have to find the people in your life, the environment in your life, the things you like to do that's actually fun to you.
Right.
So you find your flow and then art happens.
Totally.
You know, a really good video I saw is of you
What?
in the park where you're doing makeup.
Oh,
and the little boy's like, makeup's only for girls, I thought. And you're like, no, anyone can. And I was like, that's so cool because maybe that kid secretly loves makeup and maybe he wants to be a makeup artist, a drag queen, actor, actress, whatever he wants to be. Like, I thought that was so inspiring to tell a kid like that something like so inspiring. Like, you can do makeup if you like it.
Yeah.
I like makeup, maybe you too.
And I know you know this, but I feel like you have more impact than you even realize on young gay children, young gay black children.
Yeah.
Like aspiring
honestly,
drag queens.
Anyone though. Because like I'm a straight woman. And like when I watch you, I'm like I said earlier, I'm like, I gotta just be myself. But I always notice this. It's like, be yourself, but like don't settle for anything but your best self.
Hello?
Which I feel like is the most beautiful thing about drag. It's like, be yourself. Authenticity is the name of the game, but like strive for better always. And I love, it's like, that's like my like mantra. I'm like, this is that's why I think it's such an important.
I love that we're like getting into it right now. Like, do I have chills? Maybe.
It was from the street beats. I do street beats. I said this was like the first thing I ever did in my life that like went viral. Anything was like years before Drag Race. I just went. My friend Shine Picardo, she's this amazing Brooklyn filmmaker, and she was like, you should just put your makeup on outside somewhere. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. So it was like a hot ass New York City summer day.
Mhm.
We sat on the red TKTS steps in Times Square. And she just recorded me just getting into drag.
Wow.
And it was just like a video that went like so crazy and viral. And it I've done like 4 of them since then. And the last one, it was really cute.
So
Kids always
YouTube
come up to
street
me.
view.
Kids always come up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
They're so pure and innocent. They just
Right.
think like, oh, he's expressing himself.
And the thing is, parents could explain to their kids, guys wearing makeup or dresses is totally fine.
Right.
You know, because
Right.
kids are just like
Right.
down for whatever.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I believe
cool.
you.
The only reason
Yeah.
homophobia exists and
Because they were-
transphobia exists
right.
is because parents instill it in their children.
Right.
because
Yeah.
of toxic
Or
masculinity.
they're in the closet themselves and so afraid that they can't
Right.
face it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, second question.
Second question is, if you could tell yourself something at your lowest,
Ooh.
Like when you were
when
at
you
your
were
lowest
at your
in your
lowest
past.
moment in your life, what would you like? This Monet, tell that Monet.
Oh my God. These questions, y'all. It's so crazy. What
We
was
get
my-
drunk and deep. That's what the podcast is about.
Yeah, this is the drunk part of the
But enough about
podcast.
Friday night. If I could tell, what would I tell myself? What would myself now tell myself at my lowest point? You gonna win All Stars 4 one day, bitch.
Yes.
Yes, I love that.
Honestly, you one day you gonna win All Stars 4. You may not know what that means now, but trust me, it's great.
something.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
got
you
chills,
literally
actually.
won.
I love that.
You won All Stars. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
like form of drag excellence.
That's
You
true.
were-
Yeah,
True.
you
Yeah,
were
I was
the
like-
top of the top. Like it's
Like,
crazy.
what does that mean? Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah.
great.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
amazing. All right, the last question's the most fun one.
I know.
And
this
it's
is
also
the
the most
most
stressful.
the
But
most fun one. It's our gossip question.
Okay.
basically, it's just what tea can you spill for us right
Yeah.
now? We can bleep names
It can be
if you
drag
need.
tea. It can be just normal
Any
tea.
kind of tea that you feel
like
comfortable.
RuPaul Frax. Like
That I
something
can't
in that.
handle. Wait, can you explain this? Does he literally? He's not literally fracking.
No, I don't think he is. I mean,
I mean, he is not injecting the liquid into
Yeah.
the fissures.
I generally have no idea what the situation is. What from like reading online, it seems like he's like let his land be used for it. I
Oh,
think.
that makes sense.
right. It's
Yeah.
making money and hurting the environment.
Wow.
People are mad.
That
Yeah, but I
really-
mean, again, I don't know. I have no
it
idea.
actually just like made me laugh because that sentence was so crazy. I was like, do you like keep like certain one-liners? Because like I
Oh,
feel like
well, you know
everyone's
what?
so fucking funny.
You
For the
have you're like
reading
about
ones-
to do a death drop and then you don't.
That's
Yeah.
So, that's
Which
so
I
Well,
love.
iconic.
that is all like spontaneous stuff. Like that's just like all stuff I pull from like my catalog of like, because before Drag Race, I was working 6 nights a week in New York City on like doing my own show. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So it was
right.
like constantly doing things to make the audience gag and like,
Right.
to have like a good time. And also I'm pretty irreverent, so I'm just like pretty much down for whatever.
Right.
But instead of like one-liners for Drag Race, you just, for the reading challenge, like you don't know if it, for a fact it's gonna be there, but we all hear the rumors.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay, I heard she's leaving. And she's like, so, Naomi, I'm thinking about going away for a few weeks. What are you doing for the next couple of weeks?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going away too. I'm like, okay, I need to try something. And you're thinking about that stuff in your head. And the night before, you're just in your hotel because you know it's going to be the first episode. And you know
Right.
there's going to be a reading challenge. And you're just thinking of all the jokes and memorizing them. And you
like
have
my
your little piece of
favorite
paper
part.
all the time. So you're like, okay, these jokes.
But it
these jokes,
sucks
these
you
jokes.
can't have a phone to talk to someone because I like to bounce ideas off people.
Right. That
No.
is scary.
Like, is this funny or is
That's
this
the thing
mean?
about Drag Race. It's like you don't know what you're saying is funny.
Right.
You're kind of just like, you only have yourself and
Right.
sometimes the other girls, if you're cool with them and
Yeah.
they're
Right.
friends, you only have them to like reference and like trying to bounce your ideas off of. That's what makes Drag Race really
Is there anything
tricky.
that like
Yeah, I
felt
would be
like it
terrified.
hit? Like it felt like it hit in the room and it was funny in the room, but when you watch it back, it like
Oh my
really
God,
didn't.
Snatch Game. Okay, Snatch Game is a really interesting situation because when you film Snatch Game, there's no studio audience. There's no one to
Right.
react
Right.
off of. So
Oh.
you don't know
Yeah.
what is
What's-
landing.
And when you
what
make
isn't.
a joke and no one laughs,
Wow.
like you don't know if it was good or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Like I remember, we all thought Trinity did a good job, but she was like, "I don't think it was that good." Like I don't think like the really good ones. Not even those who believe feeling like when I did Maya Angelou, I was like, "Ooh,
That
girl, I
literally
might
is
be
my
the
favorite
bottom."
part of the whole. I just absolutely killed me.
I'm going to the bottom because you have no one. The only person that's really laughing is RuPaul
right.
and a celebrity guest judge. But again, you don't know
That's
if
still
they're,
not right.
you know what I mean? You don't know
Yeah.
if they're laughing because whatever,
Right.
So Snatch Game is the hardest challenge. Hands down.
It stresses me out to watch. And I always think if I was on the show,
Who would you do?
who would I do?
Who would you do?
I don't
you
know.
would be great at that. You would
do
be
like Laura
great at
Dern
Who
or
would you do?
something.
Laura Dern.
You do
I
Laura Dern.
Oh,
fucking
I don't know if I can do
love
Laura Dern.
Oh my God, can you
You'd, like,
can you
wear
please
the
I
do
could
outfit?
maybe do Laura Dern. Maybe, I don't know.
I've never impersonated somebody.
I would maybe do like Ariana, something easy. Like, yeah, You know,
I could do Macy Gray.
You know, like something where I could sing a lot.
I try to say goodbye.
Oh, you could do Amy.
Oh, Amy.
Or Macy Gray.
Who would you do?
I would do like Nicole Scherzinger.
Oh my
something.
God.
Yeah, because like she's like Filipino like me, so I would do like
Sexy.
Pussycat Dolls type thing.
That'd be hot.
Oh wow! I can't picture you acting like Nicole.
I have to
Scherzinger.
really like get comfortable with that.
Oh my
It would take
gosh.
me a second.
You're also just so pretty that you
Thank
know pull it
you.
off.
Have you or Marcus Scott, have you ever done drag? Or you two?
No.
I have to show you. Yes, I have
You
done.
done drag once?
No,
You have all
Willem.
these gay friends and you've never gone to drag?
Oh, me gone in drag?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
God.
Should
Willem,
we do it?
Willem did
Can
drag
we
on
do
me
it?
once.
We
I
should
want to
do it.
see.
We should do
Yeah,
it.
Halloween, we're thinking of doing drag.
Oh my God, fun. Well, Halloween, I'll be in quarantine in the
horrible.
Dominican
Oh
Republic.
my God.
Isn't your is this the lip sync battle?
No, it was for a
though.
super fun video. Like
I
Willem
love
put
it.
Mitch and I
Oh
in drag.
yeah.
You definitely look like Willem. Yeah.
Let me see.
I think it looks great.
Oh my
You wanna
God.
see-
I mean, I was
Some
living my
hats.
fucking
Some
fantasy.
tea for Scott is that he was supposed to be on Drag Race.
Oh
for the
yeah,
makeover
I was asked to
episode.
be on Drag Race when they did like the Tyler Oakley, Raymond Braun.
This is his season.
Oh, it was your season.
Oh, it was my season.
It was the influencers
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But
Why did you
which
do
is
it?
here's what's so weird. At the time, I was going through an insecure phase. And I was like, I don't really want to be vulnerable and like tuck and be naked on TV and stuff and like getting ready. And I was like too scared, so I didn't do it. But now I would 1,000% do
They should
it.
have you for the super celebrity.
the celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
Super secret
You'll be
celebrity.
on it. You'll be on it.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart for you, but also makes me happy for you because I'm like, look how you've grown.
No, I know. I was
Yeah.
like that year. I remember
We're in
I
airport and
was
Scott was
like
like, I don't know, should I
very
do it or
nervous.
should I
I was
not
like, I
do
don't
it?
want to be on TV
yeah, it's scary.
like naked and shit. You know?
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, I was thinking about that with the celebrity judges. Like, it must be intimidating because, like, you're entering this room of like supreme talent and like humor and
Yeah.
ability, and you're like, the celebrities like want to be funny back.
But
Like,
how do you
Billy
keep up with
Eichner wasn't
that,
even
though?
that funny. I was
Yeah.
like, you're scared. Like, they're, you know, like,
it's kind of like Todrick is a funny person, but he sucks on the show.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's tough. It's,
Oh my God, I love Todrick.
No, Todrick and I had a falling out. That's the only
Oh, did
reason
y'all
I
really?
should've
Yeah.
Ooh, get it. Oh, well, we gonna talk about that later. I want to find out that tea, girl.
love it.
Okay, literally last question. This is so random, but do people call you Monet or Kevin in your life?
People call me Monet generally, even like all queens and everyone. Only people call me Kevin are people who knew me like
Like your parents?
my parents and people I knew from like middle school. I'm still friends with, like
Right.
like the 5 people. But yeah, everyone calls me Monet.
Oh.
Everyone, yeah.
You're
thank
such a great guest.
You are.
you.
You're
This
just
is
so
so fun.
smart
Well, the
and you're
thing is,
so fun.
The
and
reason
it's-
I wanted you on the show is because
you
I
fit
just
the-
love your energy. I
Yeah.
can just tell
It's
from the
infectious.
show. It's infectious and it
And
really
this
means the world to
podcast
me
is
this
really
work.
about like the way it all started was Scott and I would go to dinner all the time, usually with Mark too, and we would just be like tipsy, like talking about our dreams and like gossiping, but like also being like, have you done this yet? Like it's great, like work ethic, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and so we just like want to bring guests who would bring the same energy, and that's
Yeah.
just like you exactly.
Thank
so
you. This
thank
is
you
so
so
fun.
And I'm so
much.
It's
happy
such a
for
good
you.
time.
I'm so glad you had
Can't
fun.
wait for
That's
everyone
something
to
it's
hear it.
down.
Okay, love you guys.
Love you.
Okay, she is going to the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
We'll let
yes,
you go.
yes.
Is there
And
anything you wanna, like,
now I'm
shout out?
shocked.
Promote
I'm like,
everything.
ooh.
Promote anything.
I'm like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
See, okay, okay, Scott gonna come with me too.
I didn't even talk to you about opera. I want to ask you so many opera
yeah,
questions.
I do wanna
hear
Wait,
that.
really
Yeah.
quickly.
Okay, really
Maybe
quickly.
you have to like slice this in earlier, but like, did you want to be an opera singer professionally?
I
'Cause you
did,
went to
I
school
did.
for it.
Like bass?
Yeah, bass. So I went to undergrad for opera performance and music ed, and I dropped the opera performance part like my first year because it was too much work.
Mm.
Like, I mean, ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
It's insane.
It's insane. But then with doing the music ed degree, I was basically doing all the opera performance classes with like some more music ed classes. So I didn't really do both. So I did that. And then I sang with Portland Opera for 2 years, 2012 and 2013. I sang Zoroaster and Magic Flute, and I sang
Wow.
Paulina in La Boheme. I did that. And then I came back to the city and I was like desperate for money. I was like, I need money or else I will be living on the street and I will smell like fucking Thorgy. So I ended up doing like a show called Cattle Call.
I smell like Thor.
Oh, girl, have you ever, girl? Anyway, I ended up doing a show called Cattle Call, which Peppermint hosted at Therapy. And I did drag for that. And then from there, I was just like, you know what? Opera can wait. I'm going to do drag. And
Oh, work. And then he became the most famous
Wow,
drag.
that's
Literally.
Do you ever sing opera now?
no, I don't ever. I'm not
Yeah.
a voice lesson since I graduated college, which is a mess. That was what. 10 years ago.
Oh my God. Well, if you ever want a voice teacher, Scott and I both see this guy in LA who's
Jeffrey
opera.
Allen.
It's opera technique. But
Okay.
we sing pop. And he's like a life-changing, amazing
I am
teacher.
so
He'll change your
serious.
life.
He'll change your life.
He is
I'm
Jeffrey
insane.
Allen.
Okay,
We can introduce you.
okay. Yes,
I
please.
think I'm
Every
his
single
favorite
show I
student,
ever
no
perform,
offense.
I'm thinking about his technique.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, he's
And it's
insane.
opera technique, but we do pop stuff. So it's like,
Okay,
I think
word.
you'd like him. Yeah.
Signed.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Okay, great.
100%.
Okay, this
Yeah.
was so fun.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
so
fun.
much,
Thank you
Monet,
so
for doing
much.
this. This was so much fun. And
Really
we
was.
will
See you
see you
guys
next
soon.
time on Ugh, You're So Good.
You're so good. Love you. Bye.